useless superpowers to bring you entertainment.
And welcome to Business Party Podcast. We had a bit of some technical difficulties for some reason. Davey's audio wasn't matching up with mine whenever we did the original beginning, so I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. Welcoming my new co-host onto the podcast, and we definitely had a damn good podcast, a good conversation about a lot of stuff. We talked about the World Economic Forum and whatnot, and the whole meeting that they just had, and yeah, a lot of that's all messed up, but I'm just doing this beginning in this way because it messed up. We had technical difficulties. Shit happens. But hey, at least we got things going now, and hopefully you all enjoy this podcast, and love y'all. Boom. And obviously if the internet is not liking us, Brian, the FBI agent, get out of here. Fucking with our stuff.
Your FBI agent's Brian, mine's Isaac.
Isaac, get out of here.
Isaac! She hides up.
But yeah, him on TikTok. That's Midwest Troublemaker. That was one of the first things that I saw too, and I was like, oh yeah, definitely my people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just saw your face and I said, my person. That glorious beard.
Yes.
So yeah, but yeah, you know, that shooting today,
oh man.
That's just like I was saying before, you know, it's a terrible thing. 18 children are dead, and I'm like you, because I was listening to you on the Two Jacks and One Scotch podcast, and I listen to CNN too. I watch CNN because I just like to be enraged.
Right.
I like to be mad. Like, I know what Fox is going to say, and I say it to everybody. I go, I know what Fox is going to say, so I really don't have to listen to Fox. I'll watch CNN and see what CNN says, you know. And they just kept harping on the gun, and he bought it legally, and they kept saying it. Mm-hmm. That was the part that got me. Like, they kept saying, like, they bought it legally. Yeah, okay, we got it. Like, you know, you don't have to keep going on at the top of the hour. And the gun was bought legally.
Right.
Jim?
Oh, yeah. We know that they're going to parrot it across all that media. Like, you're going to hear it on one station, then you go to the next station, they're probably going to say the exact same lines in the exact same way, because that's how they work.
But, you know, the other side of the cultish, even though, you know, they parrot everything that's said by everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like it's
well, and also it's, of course, that's how they're going to keep going about it without actually making it more about the tragedy. They're trying to make it more about that, and that about the gun and gun control, and it just focus on the fact that it's a sad ass thing that happened by a crazy ass kid. Like, it was wild.
Yeah, the kid has issues, and I guarantee you he was probably, you know, a problem, and they knew about it, and they didn't do anything about it. And they were just saying, like, how does he get into school? Like, especially with everything going, you can't get into school without a mask on. How do they let this moron in with guns?
Right. Oh yeah.
You know, like there's video of parents not being allowed in kids' schools without a mask. Yet they let this kid in somehow. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, guys! Like, it's a tragedy, but you know, once again, we're gonna polarize it between left and right, and guns versus non-guns, and then somehow it's gonna be turned into Roe versus Wade, and you're like, next thing you know, you're somewhere in the San Diego desert. Like, how did we get here?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, and it just goes. We just come so far as a country just to divide each other.
Oh, yeah.
Like, family members don't talk to each other anymore, you know?
I know. That's what's real crazy. I know quite a few people that don't talk to, like, either their mom or, like, cousins or aunts or whatever, just because it's political differences and stuff. It's just get over yourself. Get over that. Like, stop it.
Yeah, there's no need. Like, you could still like one side. Like, it's turned into, and I heard somebody say it, it's turned into sports because sports were lacking in the last couple of years. So you pick sides. Like, I'm the blue team, I'm the red team. Brr, blue versus red, who's gonna win? Like, and
Right.
it's like it's gotten to the point where it's just monotonous. Like, can't we just listen to each other? But no, it feels like we don't even want to listen to each other. We just want to
Mm-mm.
prove a point, wait till somebody's talking, not even listen, because half the times you can see their glazed donut eyes looking
Mm-mm.
at you, and they're just waiting to tell you how they feel. Well, no. Well, okay. Well, this is going nowhere.
Right. Oh, yeah. And that's always how it does seem to go, is it always tends to go nowhere. There's no, like, logic and reason and the ability to agree to disagree has been thrown out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, it really has. And like the ability to just think for yourself and common sense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm half an idiot, and sometimes I have common sense, but I could look at something and tell you, like, wait, that doesn't, you know like, that doesn't make sense. If you're telling me to put diesel in my truck and it says unleaded, but you're still telling me to put diesel and it's the same thing, I'm not gonna
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
No, diesel's the
Some may
same.
right with that.
Speaking of that, thank God diesel pumps are larger than unleaded pumps, because the other day I had no idea, because you got to pump gas. I'm from Jersey. We don't pump our own gas. We pump our fists. I want to just eat a bullet after that one. Anyway,
Uh,
so I'm not used to pumping my own gas. So being out here in the Midwest, like, is different. So I went and I saw two pumps. So I figured, either one pumps gas, and I grabbed the one and I'm trying to put it, just ram it in, ram it in. It just keeps hitting the sides, and I'm like, this isn't what. Excuse me, sir, this isn't working. That's because it's diesel. Diesel.
you're like, oh.
Oh, put it back. Grab the other one. I almost messed myself up.
Oh, yeah.
was-
You would have fucked your car up. Yeah.
My car almost was like, and I paid her off too. That beautiful baby I own. I would have been so mad.
Oh, yeah. That's fucking funny.
Oh man, but yeah, you guys out here pumping your own gas it's wild.
It's crazy.
Wild.
Dude,
It's wild.
speaking of something like that, what was it? I think of like 2 years ago or a year ago. So it's probably about a year ago. Driving past the gas station down from my house. As I'm driving, it was lunchtime on work. Going to just get some food. I look over at the gas station. As soon as I look over, this lady takes off with the pump still in her car and rips it right off.
Maybe Jersey was right. Maybe we shouldn't let people pump gas themselves. But what's funny is, like, you think about that, and this is where I say I'm happy. But you think about that, and then you want people are excited about flying cars. Like, we can't even drive straight
I
or
know.
left or right, and they want to add up and down.
Right.
Could you imagine that?
Oh, there'd be so many air collisions. Oh, it would be ridiculous.
You have 65-year-old ladies driving like this, and they can't even see. Now put them going up in the air. Forget it.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
done. They're done. They're
Right.
done.
I
I
would-
can't even put the right gas in. You expect me to go up and down?
Right. Well, and that would be one of those things, like, people have always talked about age restrictions on possible driving depending on how old you get, which I think some people shouldn't fucking drive whenever you get to a certain age. But there would have to be like that on, especially flying wise. If we had like flying cars, oh, you would have to age restrict.
Yeah. I mean, I played Flight Simulator and I quit halfway through the tutorial. I was just like, they're like, check this, check the left rudder 5932.7, and I'm like, delete. I'm
Too
just
much.
gonna go back to Fortnite. This is too
Yeah.
much. I'm out of here. I'll just use the things and drive the tank in the car, and I'm good, man.
Yeah,
I
good
just
enough.
I don't even. Whew.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! But yeah, we were going to talk
Mhm.
about the WEF today.
Yep. Good old World Economic Forum. They are definitely not hiding their agenda anymore. I mean, we already kind of know where they're trying to go with everything. The real deal is they want the Agenda 2030 plan to really take place. The whole you'll own nothing and be happy, and I mean, anyone can keep trying to say like half the stuff that we talk about to where it's going, to where how much control that they want and what they're trying to do, especially with COVID, the way that they used it. It's not a conspiracy at all. It's like, it's crazy that people still don't seem to recognize that. I mean, the man, Klaus Schwab himself, wrote a book called COVID-19 and the Great Reset. He literally wants this to happen, and so do a lot of the globalists, obviously. Anyone in the World Economic Forum does.
Well, apparently I did the wrong research because I looked up "we eat fries," so I think I gotta redo it.
We eat fries.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I watched a video from that Australian dude that's on Rebel TV.
Oh,
What is
I
his
know.
name?
I
Ari
know who you're talking
something.
about. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, and man, I feel like the people on the radio when I listen to them and I'm yelling out the name, and now people are yelling at me. It's Ari at this, you know.
Right.
But yeah, but he was talking to Brad Smith, who who's a part of Microsoft, and he does. I thought that was my ass.
Oh no, it's a loud ass motorcycle outside of my house.
I was like, did I just let that go on 11?
Like,
Oops.
whoa.
um, yeah, he's an advocate for the SDG, and I had to look up the SDG. It's the Sustainable Development Goals,
Oh yeah, okay.
and the money that they want. Like, I ran out of zeros in how much money that they want to use. Like, you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
you built like there's no number. It's like 1650 billion. Like, there's no, like, I guess it's 1.6 trillion they want to use for new healthcare solutions.
Oh yeah. Because
Like,
they want everything to be like universal style, universal healthcare, everything under one fucking roof, and they control it all. And that's why they want so much money too, is toward basically crashing those systems so then they can reset it, and then it's all under what would be more of a digital currency, which I know that that's exactly what they're all pushing for.
but it's like I get like America's one type of way. Like, you have all these different countries and different, like, you're gonna get everybody to agree. Like, I can't even get like my family to agree on what vegetables we want on Easter, and you're gonna get all these people to agree on we're gonna crash the market and then we'll restart it. Like, you can't even agree for Putin to stop bombing Ukraine.
Right.
And you think that these people are just going to be like, yeah, throw billions of dollars into building solutions, herbal infrastructure, forest ecosystem service, agricultural solution, food loss. I can't even read my handwriting.
Sound like me.
Yeah, a healthy lifestyle was one of the parts, and it's just circular economy manufacturing. Like, you can't, like, these are the things that they want to put money into, and like, they're talking trillions and trillions of dollars. Like, where does this money come from? Like, I have
That's
no
yeah.
idea.
That's what I'm saying. That's the main thing, is like, where does it come from? And it's all it is just printed up fake fucking shit from the social or central banks. All the central banks do is they just print up whatever they want. They just fucking hand it out, and everyone. All it is, like, well, whenever it comes to like money, it's all about perception and a social construct. The only reason why it even has value is because we fucking say it has value. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, and everything's being devalued right now. Like,
Oh yeah.
when we got here in January, I think gas was I want to say 3.59, and it's been 3 months, 4 months, and gas is already at 409.
Oh yeah.
It's it, and like we went and she went shopping the other day, and I was happy when we first got here. She went shopping. It was like 250, 300, and back in Jersey, it was like it was double. It was like
Yeah.
500, 550 or something like that. And now it's starting to trickle up there. Like it's starting to creep up to that point, and it's like, man, and I'm not making any more than I was back there. I was excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna move down to the Midwest and get more for my money. And now it's starting to be like, nah, not as
Right.
much.
Yeah. Now it's like, well, it really didn't make much of a difference.
Well, Dollar General is now $60 General, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And it's crazy. And then that Australian E-Safety Commissioner, Julie Iman Grant, says that we need
Yeah.
to recalibrate, we need a recalibration of free speech.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna play that clip right now because that's the first one that I got ready.
See?
This was from the meeting that just happened not too long ago. That's why now it's fresh in my mind with everything that's happening, because the clips that I'm going to be playing, so everybody knows, it's from the Bongino show. It'll be this first one from her, and then Shapiro was talking about it. Pat Gray Unleashed was talking about it. Everyone sees how fucking evil this Klaus Schwab is, and like the whole economic forum, and especially her. Like anything out of Australia, to me, don't listen. Like, oh my, they do not want freedom. They are going straight totalitarian. But yeah, first clip I'm going to throw up is going to be, Julie Enman Grant, Australia E-Safety Commissioner. Is this a war on free speech?
Anymore. Listen for yourself.
We are finding ourselves in a place where we have increasing polarization everywhere, and everything feels binary when it doesn't need to be. So I think we're going to have to think about a recalibration of a whole range of human rights that are playing out online. From freedom of speech to the freedom to be free from online violence, or the right of data protection to the right to child dignity.
Notice how.
Like, no, I don't think so, lady. You don't. That's the whole thing. Like, they're so narcissistic. Like, who put you in charge of thinking that you can even say that? Like, you didn't fucking create free speech. None of you did.
Yeah, but they're kind of programming people away from all that stuff. I mean, remember when the internet was the internet? You can do and say whatever you want, and now it's like now you have to curb what you say. So they're slowly starting to curb your free speech. So that's how they got the gall to do it. They listen. You can't. At one point, you couldn't put "learn to code" on Twitter, so people had to get. People had to circumvent and say other things. So they're kind of like they're going to throw it in your face, and most people are just going to be like, okay,
right.
You know,
it's a conditioning process.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it sucks, but they're doing it, and people don't care.
I know,
there's a lot of
the
people
scary part.
Yeah, that are just like, oh well, that's what it is. If you don't want to do it, then I guess you don't want to be a part of society. Whoa, what? I can't be a part of society because I have a different frame of mind. Like I have a different thought process than you.
Right, exactly, and that's the other funny thing. Like when it comes to like the free speech and whatever else, is like me and you and all the people that we fucking follow on TikTok or agree with, kind of, or in like-minded ways. I don't care what you say, believe in, or anything else. We all will fight for your right to say it, even if we don't agree with it. That's the whole point of like really actually trying to be unified and believing in free speech and the fact that we need it for the public discourse in order to get to a better spot. We have to be able to have these other points of views and not get completely bent out of shape and lose our shit and want people canceled just because we don't agree with them. That's not how life works.
It sucks because we want everybody to say what they want, and then they try to cancel us. And then when we try to cancel them, then you get everybody going, well, why are you trying to cancel? You're part of free speech. But like,
right.
It's like you just try to cancel me because I called somebody the wrong pronoun? Like, come on, give me
Right.
a break.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or if like this whole abortion issue that's out right now, like if you disagree with anybody on that, all of a sudden now you're even like racist if you disagree with it. Like people have equated it to that. I've heard political commentators on the left equating it to racism and stuff just because you don't think that a baby should die, or it's like
It's funny because it's not funny, but I say that it's funny because I don't know if you remember a couple years ago there was a kid that got taken away from his parents because his name was Adolf.
oh,
So his parents, family services came, took the kid away from them, and they had a journey to get their kid back. Um, and but if you want to give your kids drugs to turn them into a different sex, we're praising it. And I'm like,
right,
wait. You can't name your kid a certain name, but you can pump them with certain kinds of drugs and it's okay. You can
right,
dress them up in a different way. And listen, kids learn by what their parents and their environment teach them.
mm-hmm.
So if you're going to sit there and you're going to put a dress on your child, on your son, if you're going to put your daughter in flannels and well, I mean flannels is not even really a boy thing anymore.
Oh, I hear,
You know,
yeah,
I've,
yeah,
I've watched I've watched Yellowstone.
oh
My
yeah.
God. Listen, Beth, I think her name is.
Oh yeah.
Holy bejesus.
I'd
Um,
I'd I'd let her ruin my life.
uh, listen, I'm getting married this weekend. I'm not doing anything to jeopardize that or afterwards because I don't I don't want to have my stuff taken. I beat
Uh-huh.
one. I don't need to beat two.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it's like you want to make your boy into a girl and girl into a boy. Like let them get to an adult first. Like you
Yep.
wouldn't let your child just go run free in the middle of the street. Why are you gonna pump them full of drugs?
Right.
It's
Well, exact, dude. And whenever I started, like, as soon as I started hearing about the puberty blocking drugs that they're trying to put in these kids, that's whenever I started getting pissed about stuff because you will mentally fuck up that kid. It's
yeah,
not. It's not just about their body. You will mentally fuck that kid up because if
yeah,
their hormones and shit aren't going right at a certain time, that mental stability is going to get fucked up.
yeah. Listen, I wanted to be Scooby Doo at 5, and I nobody turned me into a dog.
Right.
So it's like why you did the kid will wear. Listen, I dressed up in a dress when I was a kid just to make my family laugh. I
Mm-hmm.
put on heels and my mom's dress, and I put balloons, as the
Right.
boobies, and I walked out, and But did that mean that I wanted to, Lorena Bobbitt myself? No.
Right, right. And then you do that now, like say you do that now and you have one of the parents that are all about this stuff and it doesn't matter what anybody says. It's all liberals. That's the best way to put it. It's like the liberal parents that are like that. If you do that and everyone else finds it funny, but that parent is that serious liberal one, they probably won't even laugh. They'll just go to you and be like, "Is that how you really feel?
Yeah.
Do you?" It's like, "Oh my god!" Like, just get the joke. Get the joke.
Yes. I'm here in full makeup and a blouse. I'm trying to be funny.
Game blouses.
Yeah. But it's just, man, you can't even joke sometimes about this stuff.
Oh, I know, dude.
It used to be like, how could people be getting in trouble for things they said so many years ago?
Dude, that's one of the things that really pisses me off too. How can like that just makes no fucking sense. There's no way that these people that are canceling the people like that haven't said stupid shit in the past too. Just because it wasn't on fucking Twitter doesn't mean that you weren't guilty of fucking being an asshole at one time too.
Yeah. And listen, people need to stop putting every single thought online. They
Yeah.
really do. If you really want to, if you really don't want to be in trouble, stop putting stuff online. But then again, it's only certain people who are going to get in trouble. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can be certain people and get away with it. All they got to do, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, and and
Oh
then
yeah.
all is
Well,
forgiven.
you can be. Oh, you said you watch CNN sometimes. You can be Jeffrey Tubin and jerk off on a fucking Zoom meeting, and then you get rehired. You're fucking fine.
This is true. This is true. But God
I,
forbid Tucker Carlson doesn't agree with you giving your kid puberty blockers and they want you canceled.
right.
Oh
Dude,
man, it's and Brian Stelter, man. Oh my God,
that guy.
that potato, that sack of potatoes. Let me tell you, there's nobody I would just love to see just kicked by a midget right in the groin every day, right
Oh,
before he
dude.
went to camera. Oh my God, his. So what do you think? You think that it's okay to tell kids it's to have guns? Is it okay, guys? Guys, is it okay? Can I not get fired
Yeah,
today? Can I? Huh?
that guy, man. Oh my god, he gets on my last nerve.
Uh, and he's. I'm just asking questions. I'm just gonna ask questions, guys. I don't mean anything. Shut up. Shut
Yeah,
up. Grow some hairy nuts, and just ask the question you want to ask.
right.
If you feel like you don't think guns should be allowed, just say it. Just be honest.
And I'm pretty sure it's been him a couple of times that like he said that he doesn't think that CNN is biased and shit. It's like, dude, really, 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 bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we don't show any bias here. No, guys, no bias.
Yeah,
Guns
none at
should be
all.
taken away from everybody. What? What happened? Who? I
Right.
just, I just like. It's funny because Fox will have the other side on, but CNN won't. And as soon as somebody has a different, uh, and CNN has 30 people on a panel, and they have
Mm-hmm.
one guy from the other side who's like Anna, whatever her goblin name is, the Gremlin,
Mm-hmm.
Anna, that's on the View.
Oh yeah. I forgot what
Miss,
her name.
no, you're not. You're not a
No, you're not.
conservative. You're a chicken. You're one
Yep.
of the chickens on the View, spewing. I almost said the R word, but I don't want
Right.
see, that's it, though. That's what I'm talking about. Like you
See,
can't
like,
say,
well, I'll say on here, that's the whole point of my podcast. I don't even care if it gets taken on YouTube. Fucking retarded. I will say all of.
but but here's the thing: like people forgot the meaning of words. Like retarded means
Right.
um, stilted in learning. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that's the definition of it. And it's like, and because some assholes decided to call people with a mental handicap retarded, now we can't use it. Like that was a great word for us when we were kids.
Oh yeah,
We all like, man.
dude.
Listen,
Well, like not too long ago. What was it? A couple years ago, I was dating this one chick. And I said that in front of her. She looked at me. She's like, "I love that you actually still say that. Nobody still says that." I was like,
it was just the words, like, and those words were like endearing. Like that's what I don't.
right.
That's what I understand. Like you were still friends with that person, even though you called them that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were still, that was like a term of endearment. Like, don't be retarded. Come on, guys, let's do this. Come on, stop being stupid. Let's go.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it didn't mean like I had like here we go. Well, I'm gonna tell you that I had a cousin with Down syndrome who I loved with all my heart, and if anybody called him that, I'd have punched him in his face. But you know what? Who else would have punched him in his face? He would. If you
Right.
called him retarded, my cousin would literally punch you in the face and then tell you he had puppies in his stomach. Because that's what he did, and he was the most lovable person I've ever, he just came up to you, hugged you, and kissed you right on the mouth because that's what he did. But he was the best, and if you called him a name, if you called him a fucker, he would call you a fucker right back.
Good.
You know,
It's awesome.
and if you called him retarded, he'd go, "Well, what does that make you?" You know, and but it's and that's what I mean. Like they make you stop and think about what you're gonna say, and this is where
Hmm.
that slippery slope of controlling you and free speech and no
Exactly.
matter what, and they and people could watch this and take that little sliver and just go, "You see what this guy said?
Oh
Did
yeah.
you listen to the whole thing? Well, it doesn't matter. You made an excuse." Well, I mean, once again, Jeffrey Tubin jerked off in front of a bunch of people, and everybody went, "He did what? Meh, that's just Jeffrey."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
That's just Jeff being Jeff.
We've all seen it already. Jeffrey. He's been on
uh
the copier.
I still couldn't believe that they just brought him back like it was nothing.
Of
Like,
course. Of course. And all the women there were just like, "So you masturbated? Did you learn your lesson? Did
mhm,
you are you gonna masturbate again?" "No, I
right?
learned my lesson. I'm never gonna do that again. I might knock up my friend's daughter and ask her to get an abortion again, but you know what? I'm not gonna jerk off on Zoom
Yeah.
again." It's like,
Dude.
guys, come on. Like, what are we doing here?
Oh yeah.
What are we doing? Let's just all get in a circle, have a fire, have a beer, and just chill. Take a
Well,
step
yeah,
back.
exactly. Exactly. Be able to, like, I always, that's what's funny too. I heard somebody say this the other day. Why is it the people that have the sticker coexist on their car cannot fucking coexist with like almost anyone? Because they're always the ones that are like, no, if you don't think this way or if you don't want this to happen, you're a fascist or you're racist or you're sexist or but it's like, oh my god, what happened to coexist, homie? You,
I- it, it doesn't
well,
exist. It
right.
doesn't exist. Coexist, don't exist.
And that's what's really been watered down into all this delusion is that the coexisting, the ability to agree to disagree. That's the whole point of free speech, is for us all to be able to have a public square and to be able to fucking say this stuff without getting crazy and beating each other's ass, because you shouldn't do that.
Let's not forget who's telling us all this stuff. Let's not forget the millionaires that are
Mm-hmm.
sitting there telling you to be angry with this guy and that guy to be angry with you. How about you have a conversation with this guy first on an equal level?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just not go in with preconceived notions and let's have a conversation. And if that guy wants to have a conversation and threatens to beat you up, there's a problem then.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And and the big problem that has really brought that more to, I guess, fruition or more in the limelight is the corporatocracy that's been happening with all these corporations agreeing with either big government, like we do have, uh, saying that they can't be this way, or oh my god, if you ask for an ID for voting, you're racist, or just all like the corporatocracy is one of the worst things, because once corporations start getting into it, there's so many people who just live for certain brands and shit that they will fucking listen to that brand just because.
Well, when did Rage Against the Machine, "fuck you, I won't do what they tell me," all of a sudden turn into, "Well, do what the government says or else you
Oh,
guys are assholes"?
I know, dude, for real.
What?
Oh, dude,
We
and
were
that,
we were
well,
screaming, "Fuck you, I won't do what they tell me," and then now you're like, "Well, they said put a mask on, take a shot, take 7 shots, take another shot, take a shot of this, take a shot of that." Well,
right,
if you don't do that, you're not doing your part.
right.
Huh?
Oh, and that's the crazy part too, is that they were like one of my favorite bands for so long, and now whenever I actually just never paid attention, because I didn't really get into politics till like basically a few years ago. Like, and actually, like I always kind of knew some of the people and like who they were, didn't really understand socialism. I always knew that it was bad, but if you look at, I mean, if you listen to their lyrics and look at who they talk about and like all these like wannabe freedom fighters, all they were is just socialists.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of them, communists and socialists.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I heard something on the radio today, like all these big names and everything like that, and let's say like I love this guy, but I'm just throwing Lionel Richie.
Mm-hmm.
If Lionel Richie was a socialist, and I don't know why I was using him, it just came to my mind. And Does he get paid the same as the backup dancer? Does he get paid the same as the drummer? Do they all get the same pay? No. Lionel Richie gets the bulk of it. So, you're not a true socialist. If these people making millions of dollars on movies were true socialists, they wouldn't be living in these lavish houses. They'd be living like you and I would be. They'd be living in a house that's $200,000 and giving away all their money. But no. I mean, look at the Johnny Depp Amber Heard. She said she was going to give the $7 million away. Did she? No. Well, I pledged it. Well, did you give it to her? Well, I pledged it. That's not the same, bitch.
Yeah, it's not the same. Not the same.
Listen, I pledge my table. I just, and they're just all hypocrites. The same people who are telling you to stay home, don't go out. How did they make all these movies? How did they make all these TV shows?
Right, because they're fucking lying. They don't even believe it in themselves. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
No, as I said the other day, this is starting to be the Hunger Games.
Oh yeah.
All these people with all this money and everything like that, and we're just sitting there just throwing the scraps, fighting each other. Mm-hmm. That's all we're doing. We're fighting each other for scraps.
Right. Like Theo Vaughn, one of his fucking stand-ups not too long ago. I have it on my TikTok, but he's like, because like he's got his black, like the neighborhood that he grew up in Louisiana and shit. Yeah. He has like blacks and whites, and they're all more or less poor and shit like that. And he's like, "You really think I took your shit and just don't have it?" Like,
and Mark Norman too. Mark Norman grew up in Louisiana, and he was poor. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think his dad was like 97, and his mom was in her late 70s, and then they had Mark Norman. But like, he's like, yeah, I stole your stuff, and then I went to my house where I have nothing either.
Right, exactly. Like, somebody has your shit, and they have my shit, and they're just watching us fight over it. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's the government. We're just gonna reach in there, take all these taxes from you, and then watch you all fight for $1,400. Thank you.
Oh yeah. And then speaking of the government and fighting and what may happen in the future, let's get another little clip going. This is good old Klaus Schwab. Dude, he has that fucking accent where it's just like, as soon as you hear it, you're like, that's evil. This man is evil. Yeah. You, sir, are the devil.
That's my guy.
Yeah, exactly. But he's talking about, and this is a good point, what Bongino said on here too. A good point to pay attention to is what he says. He doesn't say shareholders. He says stakeholders. Stakeholders are people who just have interest. They're not going to... When you're a stakeholder, you just have more of an interest in what you want your agenda to be and for it to happen. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're making money, but you want it to happen so that way that it goes in your interest. Shareholders are going to make money, but he doesn't give a fuck about the shareholders. He wants this agenda to happen for all the liberals, the globalists, all of that. Let's go with good old Klaus Schwab.
Is built by us. Check this out. Let's also be clear. The future is not just happening. The future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room. We have the means to improve the states of the world. But two conditions are necessary. The first one is that we act all as stakeholders of larger communities, that we serve not our only self-interests, but we serve the community. That's what we call stakeholder responsibility. And second, that we collaborate. And this is the reason why you find many opportunities here during the meeting to engage into very action and impact-oriented initiatives to make progress related to specific issues on the global agenda. That is one of the most...
The global agenda.
Wasn't that the bad guy from Die Hard 3?
Right, it's what he sounds like. And it, like, every time, why is it anyone that's evil or something has that kind of accent? Like George Soros, too. Every time I hear Soros start talking, I'm like, oh no, evil. Fuck him.
Well, they come from the Germans.
Yeah.
Or wherever.
dude.
You
And
know,
Klaus, I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is German. But dude, he just wants control. That's all that he wants, and he really thinks that it's all about these elitists and the globalists that they're gonna fucking control and build everything. Like, no, bro. They want to start doing that. I really hope that America rises the fuck up and says fuck you.
yeah,
And that's
yeah.
I haven't heard much yet about that UN vote. I haven't heard anything really
No.
yet.
Well, of course they're not gonna tell everybody right away. They're gonna bury
Nope.
it as much as they can, and then and then it'll just come out on page 71 on the someplace. It'll be the back of the right before it hits the sports page, and they won't say much about it. Fox News will run with it for a day and a half, and then
Right.
focus.
It'll be one of those articles where they'll be like, well, this isn't that bad, and this is taken out of context, blah, blah, blah. And then at the bottom, it'll be like, we're fucked. You know?
You ever see what was one of the was it New Nightmare on Elm Street, and the guy's just in the map and he's going like this, and he goes, and they're like, what does the map say? And it's like, the map says we're fucked. That's what it's gonna be like. We're just gonna be like, we're fucked.
Exactly.
And oh man, it's so that's why I moved out here into the middle of the United States.
Right.
Because they banned plastic bags in New Jersey. Like, what is that gonna do? Oh, well, it's bad for the environment. So are the 300 toys you buy for your kids that are made of plastic.
Right.
So, so are the plastic cups that you're using. So instead of the plastic straw now from Starbucks, now you have a plastic lid.
Right. And what about the millions of fucking masks that are just fucking
Oh.
just probably in landfills or on the streets and everything else?
Yeah, I think I might have a video of that on my TikTok or something like that, where it's just you see masks all over the place. Like, people, as much as I love them, what's wrong with people? People.
Yeah, exactly.
It's simple, and it's like some people just have it in them that they don't care. Like, fuck everybody. And I hate that mentality. I don't like that mentality. I feel like I'm not that way. I feel like most people on the right leaning conservative, on the conservative, I don't want to see like right leaning, because like it's more conservative. Like, I
Right.
hold core American values, like, so
Which
like,
is, no, that's true. And I try not to say right leaning too, but no,
Yeah.
you're right. It's more in that conservative type style. Like, I'm in there, but I'm like a conservative libertarian because I'm a constitutionalist. But no, I agree.
Yeah, and so it's we feel empathy, and I don't understand some of these people that don't feel that empathy. Like, I used to be pro-choice,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just see all these women using abortions as birth control.
Yep.
It's like, wait a minute, that's not what it's for. That's not what the abortions were for. The abortions were to get rid of the black kids, if you really want to go back to it.
Started by Margaret Sanger.
But you want to not have a baby, don't open your legs. It's that simple. That's your pro-choice. You want to be pro-choice? Choose whether or not to open your legs for a man.
Or also make sure that man is putting on a condom if you really want to. And I also don't have a problem with the Plan B stuff. Like, say if something does happen or whatever, and you have to take that the next day or whatever. Okay, do it.
Well, that's the argument I face is like, they're like, well, what if in the case of rape and incest, Plan B doesn't work the next day after that?
I mean, that I can understand that, but there's some cases where they might not be able to, especially if they're in a situation where they can't get out of that house, if you will, or something like that.
But yeah, here's the thing: they can't get out of the house to get the Plan B, but they can get out of the house to get the abortion.
Yeah, see, no, that's true too. Yeah,
so it's like it's like I said, I used to be for it, and then you just have women wearing signs on themselves that say I had 21 abortions.
Oh my God, yeah,
and
I
it's
know.
like, like after the 10th one, do you get like a free sandwich at Quiznos? Like,
Right.
is that what that's what we're doing here?
Well, and
And
that's what's funny too is I've seen people saying like doing the whole like pro-choice versus pro-life, and I've seen people saying that there's people that are literally pro-abortion, and other people saying no, there literally is. There are some people that are pro-abort, like actually do not give a fuck. That one video of that lady outside of wherever the fuck it was, I can't remember, where she was like,
it was
"Well, if you
New
get
York
pregnant, you
City.
don't want it." Yeah, I think it might be, but she's like, "If you get pregnant, you don't want it. Go have that little bastard sucked right out." I was like, "Oh my god, that shit infuriates me."
Yeah.
Being a
Yeah.
father, I cannot. Oh, ooh.
Listen, that was the one thing when my daughter's mother found out she was pregnant. It was already. I think she was 4 or 5 months pregnant because she was still getting her period. And we didn't know. She
Mm.
she was just like, yeah, I think I got to go to the gym. I think I'm putting on a little weight, and it's like, okay. And then she had a stomach ache one day, went to the hospital, and her mother called me and said, "Congratulations, Dad." And I was like, I had a feeling. I
Yeah.
had a feeling. I told her to check. She didn't want to check. I had a feeling, but and she was already like 4 or 5 months along, and they were just like, and she was like, "Well, I don't," and I'm like, "No, I don't. I think we should keep, and the
Mm-hmm.
baby, and now my daughter's 19 years old. I just paid my last. I even forgot what it is. I don't pay it anymore. Child support. I
Last
just
child
pay.
support.
I don't even pay it. I forgot real quick. My
You're
last
like,
child support
yes.
payment, and and I have this beautiful adult. That's my
Mm-hmm.
child, and there was a time where there was a thought about it, and I'm glad that it didn't happen, and I'm glad she's here, and I love her to death. And she has her issues, but she comes from a family of issues on both
Yeah.
sides.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm perfect.
Right.
I'm far from it. But yeah, I just, I mean, I really want to get her an "I escaped an abortion" shirt.
That would be funny, actually.
I survived,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I just don't. People celebrating that stuff is really sad, man. It really
It
is.
is. It is.
You
It's
know,
real. It's really sad because that, like, to me, that it just you don't hold any sort of value for life then, in my opinion. And they would argue that yeah, they do because they care so much about all this other bullshit, the BLM and everything else. Well, it's like, but you don't care about it being born. You don't care about the life ahead of time. So why do you care about them now?
yeah. Uh, Listen, I I know on the black market a white baby goes for a lot of money. So if all these white ladies would just have the babies and put it on the market, you know,
Right.
they can make some nice coin.
Right,
But
exactly. Well, now you saying that, now they're like, screw
wait a
abortion.
minute,
Let's
wait,
yeah.
maybe I can make some money. Get this baby out of me. Let's
Right.
do this.
I'm about to
But
get 50 grand, motherfucker.
yeah, mother. But I mean, listen, I'm all for letting anybody do whatever they want. I really don't, uh, you know, do what you
Right.
want, but don't sit there and celebrate you killing a life and literally like stomp on its grave and just be like, yeah, suck that thing out. Like that's just so not. And then tell me that you're against the death penalty.
Oh, dude, yeah,
you
exactly.
know,
Yeah.
tell
Yep.
tell me some guy who murdered a family after raping, the dad, the mom, the daughter, every the son, and then tell me you're against them being put to death, but you're okay with, I open my legs, let a guy inside of me, and
Oh,
get
dude,
rid of it.
there is like I'm still kind of doing it a little bit, but on my other TikTok, and I was with a group because I actually have a couple accounts, but one of my other ones, it was mainly for UPH, United Predator Hunters. I was with them for a while, and that kind of disbanded, but I'm still doing some with the Warriors. But that's what we did, was we fought online predators and shit, and we would make content that was basically offing pedophiles and predators. And I love doing dark content like that. But we would get comments in there sometimes from like liberals being like, "You guys shouldn't do that. It's a mental illness, blah blah." All right, so you want to worry about that, and you're not worried about them doing stuff to a child, but then you want to go ahead and abort a child. Like, you make no sense. That man
Dude.
should die.
Dude, this whole maps thing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and people are like, you should be allowed to be. No, you should not. You should not.
No.
Don't even come at anybody with that, man. But it ties in. It ties in with allowing children to get puberty blockers, teachers allowing kids to
Mm-hmm.
be what they want to be and not telling their parents, giving children whatever they want. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, now you could be attracted to kids. Fuck, you can't.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main line that needs to be fucked. Like, I mean, we should draw some lines on quite a few things, but that's a main line that needs to be drawn. Like, which I'm glad a lot of people are, because a lot of schools are trying to indoctrinate these kids into teaching them on like fucking math type worksheets and shit about like masturbation and shit. I've seen some of them. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no.
These kids can't even talk about wiping their asses right yet, and you want to talk to them about stuff like that?
Well, did you see that one of the parents was reading from one of the books and they're like, excuse me, you can't say that here. And I'm like, and they're like, I can't say that, but my kid can read this? I'm not allowed to say this in a public forum, but you're allowed to send this home with my child?
Right,
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
right, exactly. That should be your fucking that should be your first fucking your clue, homie. If I can't say here, how the fuck can a kid read it? Like,
Once again, common sense out the window.
Yep, absolutely gone. Oh man. Oh, well, yeah, we're on 50 minutes now, and we had our technical difficulties, so around 53. I think it's been a pretty good fucking first section, homie.
Listen, yeah, I think this one, it started off as a bunt. Somehow we made it into an into Parker. So,
Hell yeah.
But yeah, this is fun. I gotta admit, at first I was kind of petrified. At first I was afraid. I was petrified. And yeah, I settled in.
Oh, so was my flag. My flag's
Yeah.
afraid it started fucking falling.
Your flag Epsteined itself.
Yeah, it didn't hang itself.
It didn't hang itself. But yeah, man, this is fun. This is fun. I like how we were trying to do the WEF stuff, but it just like we said, it's gonna run the gamut. It's gonna
Right.
It'll start with one thing and it'll end on something else. We started on WEF and we ended up on maps.
Hey, well, that we at least we're touching on a lot of those issues. And those are the issues that people need to keep paying attention to, because if we don't keep paying attention to them and keep harping on them, they're just gonna keep fucking putting it in there, putting it in there, putting it in there, and people are just gonna keep letting it fucking pass by. We need to fucking just keep talking about it, keep talking about it, keep talking about it, because the more that it annoys us, the more we're gonna fucking annoy them.
Yeah, and remember, people. Touch issues, not children.
Exactly.
Boom. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, man, this is it.
Hell yeah.
All
right. Yeah, and yep. Yeah, I think we're gonna be done here now. Follow me at Business Party Podcast on TikTok, and I'm gonna throw the audio up on here. I do have it on Spotify, so I haven't done that in a while, but on Spotify, Business Party Podcast, YouTube, Business Party Podcast, and also on Rumble. So I'm going to be trying to throw those up soon. So go ahead and pay attention there. And if you want, plug yourself again, please, sir.
Once again, I am Midwest Trouble 1 on Twitter. Midwest Troublemaker. I am Midwest Troublemaker on TikTok. If you know me, don't judge me on TikTok. It's a different place, okay? It's a different place. Let me renegade and don't come after me, okay?
Hell yeah.
Let my inner freak fly on TikTok.
Right. Let my freak flag fly, motherfucker.
And same thing with Instagram. It's Midwest Troublemaker. So, follow me. I'll throw some stuff up from here. I'm gonna let everybody know what we got in store on that thing, and let's just take this to the moon, man. Let's
Hell
just
yeah.
do this. Let's do this. Take
Hell
this
yeah.
to the moon. So, all right.
All right. And on that, we're out. Later.
Cheers.